I missed this whole iDubbbz situation. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what happened. I just know iDubbbz made a content cop and H3 got mad about it and it sparked this whole Ethan versus Hassan saga arc, whatever you want to call it. And it's got the internet on fire. So I'm gonna see what happened. It's gonna be a long one. Strap in, everybody. More Pegasus. iDubbbz situation. You just lost everything.
Okay, we got an update to the whole iDubbbz situation. Basically, if you didn't know, iDubbbz is hosting an event called Creator Clash 3, and it's essentially a boxing event where influencers will fight each other, and the excess
That's my boy Aaron, right there. One of my favorite YouTubers of all time.
money goes to charity. Only problem is, it is completely failing. Their main fighter, Harley, just pulled out of the event.
I also love Harley. I watch him all the time on PKA. My favorite podcast, the only podcast that I've stayed listening to.
Meaning there is no main fight. They are canceling seats left and right because nobody is attending. They're even desperately trying to invite anyone to fight on the event, like Ice Poseidon, and literally inviting their own enemies like Tectone, who has an ongoing beef with Frogan, who is a known friend of iDubbbz. And all this while H3H3 is just making fun of all of them constantly after being backstabbed. And obviously we have the usual Hassan updates where he's just crashing out over random shit. Now if you're around a couple years ago, you probably
I think he realized that all of the people that were in the political space around him were all fucking insane liars.
remember the previous Creator Clash, which actually made no money. In fact, it lost $250,000, and apparently not a single cent actually went to charity.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's really shitty. Why is he not getting canceled like that, what was it, The Completionist? He got super canceled because of shit like that. Not paying the charity that, you know, you sponsored.
Because iDubbbz and his wife Anissa were completely incompetent at their job, and despite having very popular influencers at their event, they mismanaged the finances and ended up screwing over everyone.
We lost $250,000 on the event.
No, you didn't. You spent $250,000 on bullshit.
Once our expenses are paid off for the event, then we can start paying the charities.
Yeah, his expenses included some, like, luxurious hotel experience for the creators.
Unfortunately, we didn't even reach the break-even point, right? We're $250,000 in the red.
Now, people are also theorizing that iDubbbz made this poorly constructed content cop to increase his relevancy right before the event. But the thing is, he was so focused on backstabbing his best friend Ethan, he actually forgot.
He's like involved with all of the wrong people. I don't know what's going on here. Like, how do you get involved with the people that everybody hates, all of the normal people hate? Are you just out of touch or what? Like, I don't get it. All of the people that have the wrong takes, that's who iDubbbz hangs out with.
To even promote the event on that video. And obviously I'm guessing that he did not predict that the content cop would backfire so massively and completely ruin his event. So we're just gonna go over all of the updates one by one, starting with the main fighter of the event, Harley, saying, "I'm not boxing." You gonna cancel Creator Clash 3 yet, Anissa and iDubbbz? Good call, man. We all see how seriously you take this and how hard you've worked. All of this political stuff will sadly overshadow everything. They never treated you with respect, and that convo with Nick the other night proved it.
Well, maybe if iDubbbz didn't get political. If he didn't get political, none of this would happen. You know what? You know what started all this? You know where all this started? Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde ruined this guy. That one video, that one content cop that he did on Sam Hyde. And then the whole Creator Clash thing that had where he kicked Sam Hyde out and banned him. All that led to this. This is just the longest crash out that I've ever seen anybody on.
Harley, headliner from Creator Clash 3, talks about the atmosphere leading up to the event. Got people messaging me, drop out.
But I do get people messaging me that are like, you got to drop up, bro. You're gonna fucking dance monkey for people that hate you, dude. Don't even like, you know. And it ends up getting into this place. And for me, and I don't know about the other fighters, but just for me, like, I'm just kind of like, oh, cool. The fun little charity fundraiser has now been attached to a decades-long bloody holy war in the Middle East. It's whatever.
Yeah, the people who are behind these events are the ones who made it that. Because they just can't help themselves. These people are terminally online and all they see is this, like, political sphere. And it's disgusting. They need to get out of it. Get off the internet. You can still make videos just in your off time. Get off the internet. Stop talking about it.
Cool. You know, it's not really like the fun sentiment I had. So now, like, I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna go to boxing. Like, I gotta think about Israel and Palestine. Like, what's going on?
So that's the thing. Harley signed up for a boxing event, not some random political war with Hassan's friends just calling him out. And with iDubbbz making this content cop, he's just made it very hard for everybody on the fight. So
Yeah, like, dude, you get involved with a bunch of the most divisive political people in the online space, and you think this is gonna go well.
here we are on the Creator Clash 3 page. It's supposed to happen on June 28. I highly doubt it's actually going to happen. Here's some of the fighters. Here we got Harley, the main event, which is getting canceled now, which is why they're reaching out to Tectone, who was of similar build here. We got Tubbo versus Sap.
No shot Tectone's gonna do it. I 100% doubt it. I don't even know who these people are. Sapnap, Tubbo.
I don't really care about these people. Then we got these guys. We got Odd
I know Odd One's out. Will Neff. I don't know who that is.
One's out. We got, I don't know who these are. And then this person is from the H3 podcast and also apparently got a panic attack when iDubbbz went behind their back and essentially just uploaded the content cop on Ethan. So putting them in a very awkward position, obviously. Now here's a quick overview of what's going on with the event by friend of the channel, Sensitive Society.
Tragic day for the 25 people who thought about going to Creator Clash 3, which is literally in a month and a half. For whatever reason,
Yeah, and nobody's talking about it. The only people that are talking about Creator Clash 3 are people saying how big of a massive failure this is gonna be.
iDubbbz thought it would be smart to book it at this arena, right? This arena has a 21,000 people capacity. This is just unrealistic. They have removed all the upper bowl sitting, which was what I was just talking about. If I was iDubbbz or Anissa, I would be freaking the out. Jake Paul announced his next boxing event will be the same day as iDubbbz's Creator Clash 3. I mean,
My God. Jake Paul is gonna absolutely embarrass this guy. It's so satisfying. So satisfying to see people like this completely crash out and fall apart.
look at this section, dude. $212. Is iDubbbz going to personally come over and give me a hand job for this money? I mean, iDubbbz, you're gonna be realistic. No one really likes you. No one really cares about you anymore. And I think on top of that,
Jesus. I think this actually had nothing to do with any drama with the content cop or anything like that. I don't think it had anything to do with it. I think it's just simply that the event wasn't really that interesting.
Yeah, true. Nobody's gonna be there. Harley Morenstein was the most interesting person. That's really the only one that I know of, and he dropped out because political reasons. Yeah, is gonna fail hard. And I think at this point, people aren't gonna show up to it because they want it to fail. They're gonna be like, well, if I don't show up, that's gonna be less people that are gonna be there, and it's gonna be hilarious, and I can make videos about it.
It's basically compounding off of the lack of interest from the previous event, a reduction in people that are willing to be title card fighters. And I think all of these things happening came together and it damaged the event in a way that I don't think is recoverable. I don't think Creator Clash is really going to do very well. I don't think they're going to make their money back. And I think overall it's going to be a negative.
Shout out to
They're probably gonna make a video about how it failed and why it failed to try and recoup some of the losses. And it's gonna be completely wrong. They're gonna be completely out of touch, not know anything about why they actually failed. And they're just gonna blame it on everybody else.
Sensitive, and yeah, I completely agree. They basically completely messed up the whole thing, booked a place way too big, started canceling seats left and right, panicking because nobody's showing up, and everything is just sort of going downhill.
They should have just rented out a random cornfield. Would have been so much better, more interesting. Everybody would be like, holy shit, it's in the middle of a cornfield. That's crazy.
So much so that iDubbbz ended up contacting Ice Poseidon to actually fight, a guy who he's never even talked to.
This guy has only been in the news recently for coming in contact with Johnny Somali. Those are the people that he's associated with. He is one of Johnny Somali's greatest influences.
Is iDubbbz getting desperate? With Creator Clash 3 just weeks away, Ice Poseidon reveals that he denied an offer to box iDubbbz at the event.
Get fucking owned! Ice Poseidon didn't even want to do it. I think he knew what was going to happen, though. He was going to get pulled into some political shit. And he's already kind of getting pulled into some political shit all the time. Because he's a scammer who scammed his audience.
And I think he's struggling to find people to box him, if I had to guess.
I got invited to box iDubbbz at his event, his boxing event for Creator Clash, but I had to decline that because if I were to lose the iDubbbz, I would...
What is this lady's face? She looks like she's trying to look pretty all the time, and she's making her face look pretty on purpose for the camera. And she looks really dumb, like there's nothing behind her eyes.
I would be extremely embarrassed. And I'm not very good at boxing, so I was like, no, I can't do that.
You guys have the same stats, though.
I know.
It's like she's constantly... I can't focus on anything but her face now. It's like she's constantly aware that she's trying to look cute. And it's not working.
No, he has 2 losses, I have 2 losses. That's what I'm saying. If I lose to him, there's no coming back from that. Because he's like a skinny dude.
I think you'd win.
I mean...
And I think everyone would be wanting you to win, too.
Yeah, but I have no training at all. And it's very soon. So I would gas out in 5 seconds, and then I'd be...
Okay.
I was just wondering why he asked.
Oh, he's not bowing out because of political reasons. He's bowing out because he's a huge pussy.
To me, because me and him have nothing to do with each other. Like I've never even spoke to him, so I don't know why he asked me to box him. Like surely he has other options.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's trying to crash out and cancel all these people and like cause drama with all these people. And then he calls up an actual fucking scammer and nuisance streamer. My god. My god. iDubbbz is actually fucking retarded. Like, how does one even get to this point? I don't even know. How does one get this amount of retardation in their brain?
He wants your clout.
I mean, he definitely has more clout than I do. But I don't know. I think he's struggling to find people to box him, if I had to guess, because I don't know why he would ask me.
Yeah, this is just
I think he's struggling to find an audience, and he's just trying to pander to anybody that he can. And like now he's just like, oh well, maybe since everybody hates me, I'll pander to the people who like to hate the creators that they watch. I don't know. Weird move, man. Weird move to go for Ice Poseidon.
really awkward. iDubbbz scraping the absolute bottom of the barrel to find fighters for his event, and actually getting rejected by Ice Poseidon is something I could never live down, honestly. That is like the most embarrassing thing that's probably happened. And you know the funniest thing?
Next stop, he's gonna hit up Johnny Smalley. Hey, maybe Vitaly will do it.
About all of this is that there is no shot that iDubbbz and his group of friends agree with Ice Poseidon's general demeanor, controversy, politics, or just general edginess, right? And iDubbbz and his group of friends are so quick to discount anybody that sort of goes against their opinions, but suddenly when they're desperate for an event and to fill slots, they will invite literally anybody, and it's just not looking good for here. And if you thought they couldn't get any more desperate, apparently they were also going to invite Tectone to the event. And if you haven't been keeping up, Tectone is a pretty big streamer who recently got banned on Twitch for calling Frogan gravitationally challenged. And despite him clearly making enemies with iDubbbz and his group of friends, iDubbbz still has to crawl to him and beg him to participate. He sent him a message asking his weight, which is obviously related to the event. So here's a quick recap of the whole Tectone versus Frogan lore, and then we'll get to the messages iDubbbz sent.
The U.S. military has conducted some of the most horrific...
No, Frogan! You meant it!
U.S. military? Who? I hope you get PTSD.
I hope she gets diabetes. Oh, she probably already has diabetes.
That is a real quote. You want to tell me that's a misspeak?
Base?
The rest of the world is not going to fall for this revisionist history you are so desperately trying to push.
Yeah, this whole situation where he's trying to get in touch with Tectone really shows that they're insane fucking liars and they actually don't give a shit. They're just pandering.
Thank God no man is ever gonna have to see that shit. The only thing that sees the inside of you is the McDonald's Big Mac.
Yes, I got banned for 2 weeks for simply calling Frogan large.
What the fuck happened? What happened with all these people? Like, did COVID break everybody's brains? Or were they liars the entire time? Because this stuff didn't used to happen. Where, like, these people were obviously crashing out and lying about shit. Do they even realize that they're lying and that they're insane?
I'm not sorry, to be honest. I stand by what I said. However, going forward, I'll do my best to not bring her up again. That was a lie. He does bring her up again. But I do think it's crazy how I get banned for 2 weeks for calling someone fat, and the things you see on a daily basis on Hassan or Denim stream is 10,000 times worse, and they don't even get a warning. Anyways, see you live on YouTube.
Yeah, it's all about the narrative, which side you're on. They're insane liars, and they all get together and lie about the same things. It's like whatever the establishment says is what is established. And they will lie and fight and burn buildings down to defend that established narrative.
Now, Denim's, another Hassan groupie, was actually gloating about this, saying, do nothing and win. Only problem is, Tectone actually got unbanned immediately after. I got my suspension lifted for good behavior. Now, the funny thing is, this was Tectone's, quote, good behavior. The only enemy you got is a salad, and apparently he was banned like minutes after this. My theory is that he started streaming on YouTube, and Twitch sort of panicked. They didn't want to lose another streamer, so I don't know, they might have unbanned him for that.
Yeah, I think it was like the amount of support he was getting from the actual internet and all the people who were against Hassan is like, oh, you're gonna keep banning everybody and not ban Hassan? Are you fucking serious? You're just making it worse on yourself, Twitch. The more you do shit like this, people are gonna start multi-streaming. They're gonna start pulling away from your platform. What are you gonna do then?
Now that we know Harley dropped out from Creator Clash 3, let's do some investigating. Was Tectone slated to be Harley's replacement? Tectone revealed yesterday that iDubbbz asked him what his weight was in DMs. Before I get invited to that, I'm not interested.
iDubbbz DM'd me and he asked, how much do you weigh? So I think
he probably like straight up asked him that because he was like, I'm gonna say this to him and he's gonna get super excited that I'm asking him to do this event. So I'm just gonna go right for it and be like, hey man, how much you weigh? You wanna do this event? Fuck yeah you do, because I'm awesome. People are gonna love you. Your small audience is gonna get bigger because of this.
he's gonna try to get me in Creator Clash, which, by the way, before that comes out and before that gets invited, before I get invited to that,
I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. I'll do it right away. I will go down there and live on the beach until that happens, man. Come on, iDubbbz. Somebody get this to iDubbbz. Tell him I'll do it.
I'm not interested. I'm good.
I'm interested, pick me.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'd rather do a fighting event that isn't run by somebody who stabs their best friend in the back.
True!
Yeah, no, I'm good, man.
Absolutely based response from Tectone here. In my opinion, they do not deserve to have any courtesy because for all we know, they're just gonna mess up the event again and no money will actually end up going to charity. It will go straight into their pockets or the rest of the fighters, and the main reason anyone is interested in this event is because of the charity, right? So if that's not gonna happen, I don't really care about anything else. Not to mention they are literally all just horrible people and don't deserve any of the success this brings.
True! Stop giving horrible people money and reasons to stick around.
Now, the funny thing is, the Tectone Frogan situation doesn't actually end there. We actually have some updates as to why Tectone was unbanned on Twitch. Apparently, he had to fill out a survey on Twitch to show his good behavior, right? And just be like sort of remorseful for calling her, you know, whatever, molecularly expansive. And this survey had a very interesting question on it that pretty much exposes Twitch's massive hypocrisy.
So I was banned for 2 weeks. And why did I get banned? Because I called Frogan a piece of shit. In the TOS, it literally says they have to state that they're bothered by it. And Frogan has gone on record saying she was not bothered by it. She said, oh, it's such a
That is so fucking stupid that that's even a policy, by the way. Fuck you, you're a fat piece of shit, bitch.
Boring insult. Get something new. It doesn't bother me. She said that. So first of all, why the did I get banned for that? Secondly, here's how I got unbanned.
Secondly, why the fuck is that a bannable offense? Oh, you call me fat. Oh, I'm gonna jump out a window. Get over it.
I had a survey to take. A survey to take if I was a good boy or not. It's a new thing that Twitch was rolling out, which I thought was honestly a pretty good idea. But on that survey, you got to answer a couple questions. A streamer is talking about a physical injury they experienced in the military. Someone in chat tells the streamer that they deserve their injury and should have been killed. You know what the correct answer was for, does this behavior violate Twitch's community guidelines? Yes, because Twitch does not allow users to wish harm or death on others. Well, that's crazy, because why the f is Frogan going live wishing death and harm on American soldiers on a daily f***ing basis?
Bro, it's because they're insane fucking liars. They have their side. And if you're not on it, they will lie about you and use their policies against you. But they're not going to use their policies on their friends that they're trying to protect. It's fucking insane. They're all insane liars. We need to stop giving them money. Tectone, if you really cared about this situation, get the fuck off of Twitch.
You know she never got banned for that? You know she got banned for the race tier list? But she never got banned for the PTSD comment.
Because these people that all protect each other and lie about people like us are anti-America. Actually, they're anti-freedom, but they want to be in control.
So what the f is that? Just a crazy question. It's just an answer that I would like to know. Would be great. Because here's the reality. Did I deserve the ban? Yes. But my anger isn't about that. You can't pick and choose.
Actually, did he deserve the ban? Fuck no, he didn't. He does if he thinks that he deserves it, I guess.
Who you're going to enforce the rules on. It needs to be everybody getting equal treatment. Because if they don't, that's where resentment lies. That's where anger builds. That's where frustration and tension are. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that is just completely insane to me. Twitch are such open, giant hypocrites. It's actually crazy, which is partly why I sort of stopped streaming on that website. I used to stream on it a couple of years back, and
I was multi-streaming on Twitch, and Twitch was the worst platform that I was streaming on.
yeah, I knew this was coming. I knew their downfall was planned because they had horrible moderation back then as well. But how does she not get banned for that? And he gets banned for pointing out that she's... Twitch obviously does not enforce their TOS equally at all. You obviously get special privileges if you're part of Hassan's Goon Squad, and you obviously get plus 10 privilege points if you support terrorists, right? If you openly support terrorists, you're probably on the moderation team, honestly. You're probably in Twitch staff.
He literally said, I support terrorists, and he's still on Twitch. And he's still Twitch's golden child. That tells you all you need to know about Twitch.
Like an employee. Now we gotta move on to H3H3 just making fun of their absolute failure, because obviously Ethan is very happy that their event is failing after his literal best friend backstabbed him.
I'm very, very happy about it also, because I get to laugh at it, because iDubbbz is a fucking idiot, man.
Ethan throws shots at Ian and Anissa after Harley announced his withdrawal from Creator Clash 3. Maybe Tectone will join the card. And here we have H3H3. How's that content cop working out for you guys? Maybe Tectone will join the card. And then we got a post just highlighting his tweet. Tectone already said no, but I'm sure Hassan is a supportive pal and will jump in. Obviously, Hassan, you should join this event. Save your friend's charity event. Yeah, I'm sure it will be a complete success with Hassan in the ring.
I wonder what his excuse is gonna be, because he'll definitely have an excuse why he's not gonna do Creator Clash. He's gonna be like, oh, well, I haven't trained. It's not, I've got things to do that day. But really, he's just a pussy, and he doesn't actually believe in what he preaches. That's why he's a socialist, but he is an enjoyer of a capitalist system, and has a mansion and a Porsche, and among other luxuries.
Now, people are pointing out that iDubbbz might have to refund absolutely everybody as well. With Harley dropping out of Creator Clash, anyone is now entitled to a full refund, which they were previously refusing. Florida rules, it seems, upon the postponement, substitution of either participant, or cancellation of the main event or the entire program of matches. The promoter shall refund the full purchase price of a ticket to each person presenting a ticket for a refund within 30 days after the scheduled date of the event. Within 10 days after the expiration of the 30-day period, the promoter shall pay all unclaimed ticket receipts to the commission. This is absolutely wonderful news because this means that iDubbbz is absolutely going broke, bro.
Dude, there's no way. There's no way. This is going to fail. Okay, he's gonna do the event because he has to do the event because he can't refund that. He can't refund all of the tickets. He'll have to refund some of them because there are some people that are definitely going to refund. But I think he'll just put on a mediocre event or like a fire festival type event, like a bait and switch, or throw some like clown show in there.
He has literally lost everything. Here's what people are saying. Ethan has been stacking so many W's lately. The content cup destroyed Ian more than it did Ethan. That's what I was saying from the very beginning when I got all those idiots in my comment section. Oh, actually, this was a good content cup. I told you it was a complete disaster. And that's exactly what's happening. It's ruining his life, essentially.
What happened? Why did he think it was a good idea to make another content cop? Completely different than all the previous content cops, pull politics into it, and actually like shit all over somebody he used to be friends with because of politics. And they're on the same side. You know what they say, the left eat their own.
Refunds imply people actually bought tickets. Now, apparently iDubbbz's Discord is also melting down. iDubbbz's Discord mod says that they're not discussing Creator Clash at this time after the shocking Harley Morenstein withdrawal. More info to come. Is Harley off Creator Clash for real? He was my favorite fighter. We're not discussing Creator Clash at this time. More info to come, actually. But I'll tell you what the more info is. The event is canceled. The event will be canceled because they won't be able to raise any money for charity.
Either the event's gonna be canceled or they're gonna throw on some crazy clown show.
Nobody's going to be fighting. Nobody's going to be attending. This is wonderful, guys. Obviously, I support money going to charity, right? But the thing is, Ian and Anissa are so incompetent that whatever event they put on has been historically shown to not generate any money for charity, has been historically shown to be a complete flop and a complete, essentially just false promises, right? So I would rather their event fail and somebody more competent actually puts on something and raises money for charity. For example, CDog VA and Chris Broad always put on this cyclothon, which raises a ton of money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation or the IDF. And I think they raised like $1 million. So there's clearly people out there who are much more competent to handle this stuff. And just because I want their event to fail doesn't mean that I want charity to fail as a whole, obviously. Now, Ethan's also been posting some absolutely golden clips regarding iDubbbz and Anissa because they have gone back on pretty much everything they've ever said. In this clip, iDubbbz basically says that he would literally neck himself, then get involved in the drama.
I'd love to hear your thoughts. No, I'm not going to give you our thoughts on the H3 content nuke. I refuse.
Let me put it this way. We're very busy.
And yeah, if we let any of that enter our fucking lives, we kill ourselves.
Then why'd you fucking make it? They didn't know. They didn't know. Because they're fucking retarded. They're retards. They don't know how to do anything right. Sam Hyde really destroyed this man's brain. What happened? He has become a Sam Hyde bit. The longest bit, the greatest bit that Sam Hyde's ever created.
Ooh, yeah, that one just did not age well at all. And honestly, yeah, obviously I don't wish them any harm or whatever. I just think they should take some time off the internet and just go touch grass. You don't need to be online. You don't need to involve yourself with all these degenerate freaks that are just gonna make you depressed. And you called it. You would be severely depressed and want to neck yourself if you got involved in all of this drama.
I think one of the biggest problems is the people that they surround themselves with are like corporate content creators who are all the same. So they like, I don't know, all of it rubs off on them. Unintended. Maybe it was intended. I don't know. It works though. They're all rubbing off on each other.
And you should just not, man. You should just go live life, be happy, you know? Mudahar commented, man, Creator Class 3 might end up being the most poorly handled YouTuber event, and that's saying something. Now we gotta move on to the Hassan updates. Here he is crashing out again because he said $300 shoes are very affordable, and somebody called him out for being out of touch.
What the fuck? Okay, normal person here. Very normal person here. You know what I pay for shoes? You want to know what I pay for shoes? $5, $10 at a fucking flea market or thrift store or something. I've got these paratrooper combat style boots that I've had for years. I got them for $5 at a flea market.
I hate this conversation because for a boot that you can wear forever, $300 is perfectly permissible as a price point. Stop fucking doing this bullshit. Stop doing this fucking bullshit.
I thought dude was socialist, huh? $300 is fucking insane for boots. Even if I was gonna go buy some brand new work boots, I'd just go to Walmart and get some for $50.
In the chat where you're like, dude, I'm not actually signing off from my mommy's Connecticut McMansion. I'm actually literally living in a fucking pile of trash right now. How dare you say that? How dare you demonstrate bourgeois decadence?
Yeah, now I kind of understand why he was defending Pokimane when she said eat the rich, right? As if they aren't like worth 10, 20 million dollars. Dude, I can't imagine this existence. Just imagine just streaming 10 hours a day and
these people are fucking retarded, insane people, and they're liars, and they're on the wrong side of history. And when we look back at this in the future, we're gonna be like, wow, these people were actually fucking evil. And they think that they're the heroes.
constantly just getting triggered by your chat just like mauling because you keep saying stupid shit. Hassan defending North Korea feels like a new low. There's no way. This person says, I'm actually so tired of white people. North Korea is actually a beautiful socialist country with free housing and healthcare that's been battling US imperialism for decades. How does he defend this? Ironic, since DPRK is, as a matter of historical fact, a direct victim of the US imperialism.
It's like everything that the right dislikes or thinks is a problem, these people latch onto and they're like, no, you're the problem. It's like they are actually anti anything good and pro everything evil. It's not like that. That's literally what it is.
So while this person is a rose-colored view, she's still closer to reality on that acknowledgement alone than every single American who thinks they pull trains and eat rat shit for breakfast. He's got to be trolling. There's no way, man. There's no way. Anyways, guys, another...
I've got more coming up. Hold on, this isn't over. This video's not over yet. We still got a long while. Because the iDubbbz situation apparently got much worse after that. So let's go ahead, dive in, take a look. How could it possibly get much worse?
You were triggered by this CPS harassment thing.
Okay, iDubbbz has just dropped a content deputy video on H3H3, and this might be the single worst video iDubbbz has ever uploaded. He
just couldn't take the L. He tried to turn it into a W and just took a bigger L. Congratulations. You've outdone yourself. You fucking moron.
Really did shave off half his brain cells with that haircut. Modern day iDubbbz kind of feels like what happens to you after Dementors from Harry Potter suck the happiness out of you for like 24 hours straight. But anyways, I kind of expected iDubbbz to actually take some of the criticism from the internet from his last Content Cop video, since he learned empathy at the age of 30.
No, he saw all the criticism as personal attacks from the right wing. That's what he saw. That's what everybody around him was telling him. I guarantee it.
But no, instead he doubles down. He implies that Ethan deserved to have CPS called on his kids.
What the fuck? Did he actually say that?
over an internet argument. He says how it was perfectly fine to leave out that context in the main content cop video and literally manipulate millions of people. He also blames Ethan for ruining their charity event when it was literally iDubbbz's fault for posting the content cop in the first place. He says that Ethan was triggered by the CPS call, which is probably one of the most insane things I've ever heard in my life.
I made a content cop about Ethan Klein, so he had me canceled and made the creator clash fail. What the fuck, Ethan? Actual moron.
But yeah, let's just check this video out, see what he's saying.
I was hoping that if I made a video about Ethan, he would act like an adult and he would keep the attacks directed at me and Anissa.
You're a fucking idiot. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Unfortunately, I was wrong in thinking that, because Ethan, in a desperate attempt to attack and smear Anissa and I, he started attacking our charity event.
What? You attacked his employees and his company and his literal child? Are you insane? Yes. Yes, he is.
I don't know if you know this, but the last year they lost $250,000. To be charitable, you actually have to give money to charity, son.
Yeah, iDubbbz just doesn't like people pointing out that he mismanaged the funds in a charity event and lost $250,000. He doesn't actually like people mentioning that he literally threw a gala/party with money that was supposed to be going to charity. And of course, he doesn't like people mentioning that he did a bunch of extra expenses for no reason and essentially ruined the charity event. And as I've said in the past, convincing people that the event...
I think that's what's happening with everything. I think that's why the video game prices are bloated. I think that's why movie prices are bloated. Is because these people just don't know how to spend money and they're like, you know what? I want to have a nice luxurious party with all of my friends because we deserve this.
Would generate money for charity when it didn't is borderline scammy. And in my opinion, if you ever fail a charity event of this scale, you should never be allowed to host one ever again because you just can't be trusted. So no, I don't blame Ethan for criticizing your charity event because the last one you royally messed it up. Also,
and nobody's gonna work with you ever again except other insane people who can't work with anybody else except for other insane people.
he talks about how Ethan should act like an adult when you were the guy doing the Fortnite L dance in your video saying, "Wake up, Ethan." Weren't you the guy who also literally contacted some random dude to change Ethan's apology grading to a lower number because you didn't think his apology was good enough? Sounds pretty childish to me. Now this next part, iDubbbz for some reason thinks that the internet is on his side.
He's highlighting this post that equates Creator Clash to a crypto rug pull.
He thinks the internet's on his side because he's in an echo chamber, bans all the people who criticize him, and all the people that glaze him, he keeps them sticking around. And that's how you get this. That's how you get situations like this where you think the internet's on your side, but really, you're part of the insane crowd that nobody likes. People that are constantly on the internet. Because regular people who hate all this stuff, who are watching all this stuff happen, aren't actually commenting. They're not reacting to it. They're not hating on you. They're just watching and laughing because you're retarded.
He's saying the event is going to be worse than TanaCon. Can't wait for them to blame us for their failed event. Don't worry, Ela. I'm not going to blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so...
Dude, how fucking ironic. He's projecting. He's like showing everything that the left does all in this one video. The projection is fucking real, man. They all do it. They all do it. It's so good. It's so good to see. So satisfying. The crash out. I love it.
That will rest solely on my shoulders. But I can't speak for the internet. The internet might actually blame you guys for it.
Hey, dumbass. It's me, the internet. We don't blame Ethan for the event's failure. We actually blame you, iDubbbz. We blame you and your group of disgusting goons that relentlessly harass and bully people. And when people finally give you a taste of your own medicine, you play victim and cry to the internet hoping they'll forgive you.
Hey, more Pegasus. You gotta stop attacking iDubbbz, man. He can't handle it. You're gonna hurt his fifis.
Are sick of listening to hypocritical skinwalkers such as yourself. And how can you talk about taking accountability when you literally just blame the failure of your event on Ethan? You were the one who made the content cop out of the blue, unprompted. You were the one who decided to partner with Hassan, Denims, and Frogan. You knew these people were very controversial and very hated, and you did it anyways.
Yeah, except he thinks that they're controversial and hated by people that he hates. So it's justified.
and you ruined the charity event again. Actually feel some shame, man. This is just sad. Then iDubbbz says that he's stepping away from Creator Clash, and how convenient is that? You step away when the event is crashing and burning and remove your name off of it.
Now with this recent revelation,
see, I pulled my name off it, so I have nothing to do with it. The people who are involved, sue them. It wasn't me.
That people are just going to use Creator Clash to attack Anissa and I. Anissa and I have decided to step away from Creator Clash. We have relinquished control to our business partners who ran the previous 2 events. They're very capable. They know exactly what they're doing. They run events.
They're very capable, know exactly what they're doing. Failed the last event. Completely failed the last event. Lost $250,000. But they're completely capable.
On a regular basis. The event is still happening. Anissa and I just don't have any financial ties. We don't have any ownership. We are, you know, I think just going to be known as the founders.
It's too late. It's already tainted. It's already tainted. There's nothing about it that's gonna pull people like me in to watch it and actually be excited about it. The first one I was. Second one I kinda was. Kinda was, because there was a few people involved. There were a few people who went. But since then, no. I've learned of iDubbbz and his mishaps and mismanagement, and now I just think it's hilarious. Instead of thinking that Creator Clash is cool, now I just think it's a hilarious blunder and failure. And I'm here for it, because he kind of deserves it. He did it all to himself. You shouldn't have came after Sam Hyde. That's where you went wrong. Sam Hyde actually broke his brain. He couldn't handle it and went insane.
Of the event. I can't keep my mouth shut. I can't, I mean, I can. I just didn't want to.
He said it right there. He can't keep his mouth shut. That's the whole fucking problem.
I want to be frank. I want to be honest. You're going to talk shit like a foul beast on the internet, or you're going to have a charity event. You know, it really can't be both.
So you just admitted that it is your fault that the event failed. You couldn't keep your mouth shut. You decided to attack and pick a fight with Ethan, and that's why the event is crashing and burning and all the main fighters are pulling out. You decided to get political and you partnered with a bunch of extremists. I mean, what did you expect was going to happen? You think people will just accept your terrorist-supporting, grapes-denying friend?
Well, see, he is taking some blame on himself. But here's how the blame is going. Like, yes, I did pick at Ethan. I shouldn't have done that. But he's the one attacking me! Even though he's actually not the one who's doing all of that. It's actually his audience and, like, people that aren't really in his audience that just don't like insane liar people who project their problems onto other people. But it's actually Ethan's fault! He shouldn't have come back at me so hard. I punched, but he punched harder. When you get into a fight, you have to punch with equal force, or it's not allowed. Or punch me with less force than I punched you with. Those are the rules that I made up.
People actually have standards, and they probably want charity done by actual good people who they can trust. And I just love how this weasel is pulling out now after ruining everything and acting like he's doing something noble here. It's literally the least you could do after tanking a charity event, bro. And don't worry, people are not gonna forget. You wanted everyone to forget about Creator Clash 2 and how you lost so much money? Well, you just refreshed everybody's memory.
It's still happening, June 28th. I'm just not going to be involved in it. Please, for the love of God, support this event. You know, I feel...
Please, for the love of God, support it! It's a financial failure! My wife's probably gonna leave me! I'm losing the house! Everybody hates me!
I feel like in some ways I'm like cutting off an arm so that I could escape the bear trap.
Wow, iDubbbz, you're so noble. You're sacrificing yourself.
It was more like a rabbit trap. He saw a carrot and was like, oh man, that carrot looks so good. And then he got his arm stuck. Really, all he had to do to get out of the trap was just lift it up. But no, he gnawed his arm off instead.
Here, is that available in your course on empathy at the age of 30? Listen, I honestly do not trust a single word this guy says. Him and his group of snake friends have been caught lying so many times that I can't trust that you somehow don't have some sort of stake in this, all right? Maybe he's being honest, but judging by the way he treats his former best friend and completely lies about him and smears him, how do I know that he's not snaking us too, that he doesn't have some sort of a hidden stake in this event? I'd much rather someone else put on a charity event and everyone go support that. Literally literally anyone but iDubbbz. Now, iDubbbz talks about how he's so offended that people call him and his friends anti-Semitic.
I think the worst criticisms I labeled at Ethan is that he's a bad boss, a tyrant of a boss. I just implied that he was being taken advantage of by people either in his community or outside of his community, and I called him a bitch-made coward. Before Ethan even knew what my video was about, he was already framing me as anti-Semitic.
But he's like, no, actually, Ethan, the fucking Jew bag, this Jew bag Zionist baby killer, guys, right?
I mean, was he wrong? If you're...
He's friends with all the... Look at who he's friends with. And tell me he doesn't fucking think that. Even if he doesn't. He's part of the group. No, I'm not a Nazi. I just hang out with Nazis.
Company is literally these guys, I will also assume that you are anti-Semitic. I'm kind of tired of pretending that these guys aren't overtly racist. You disgusting freaks have taken this war in the Middle East, and instead of actually trying to support any victims or have any form of reasonable debate, you have used it to promote your own career, make more money off your audience, harass people that barely disagree with you. Ethan is openly pro-Palestine, and you still treat him like dirt. How can anybody support you when you endorse the CPS call to his kids? You endorse these racist tier lists. You endorse and partner with someone like Hassan who laughs at dead babies, calls them settlers, literally threatens to kill US senators, denies SA, denies grapes happening. For once in your life, stop fucking using this war as an excuse, all right? How does people dying on the other side of the world make it okay for your privileged dumbass in America to do horrible shit?
Clicks, money! Clicks and money. They're just saying things for clicks and money and for audience support.
What kind of stupid logic is this? You're not fooling anyone with your fake activist BS.
Except for other fake activists.
You want to know the bitter truth? Palestinians probably hate your guts for completely hijacking the movement and misrepresenting them and making them look horrible. You, Hassan, Denims, and Frogan have probably turned more people away from the cause than anybody on the internet. Then iDubbbz talks about the CPS call.
You were triggered by this CPS harassment thing.
Yeah, who fucking wouldn't be? That's so insane. That is so insane. Yeah, like, right? Right? Almost had my kid taken away. But that's okay because I attack people online. That's insane. That's insane for iDubbbz to want Ethan to think that.
And then you immediately equated Anissa and I to it. That was sloppy and that was horrendous, and it was horrendous for us.
That's because you're fucking defending it even now. You deserve everything you get.
Oh my god, Ethan, you're such a snowflake. Did you get triggered by the CPS call, Ethan? Oh my god, you're such a little whiny snowflake. Hey, Ethan, I know that people literally called CPS on your kids and did the most insane harassment you have ever experienced in your 10 years on YouTube, sent you human skulls in the mail, which may or may not imply your 2 kids. But me, iDubbbz, I'm actually friends with the guys who support that, actually. I totally approve, actually. I can't believe you'd be triggered by that, Ethan. Why would you be triggered that people came after your children? Are you like a protective father or something? What? Dude, what am I watching? I don't even like Ethan. I think politics is very cringe and it makes people very stupid, but
I think Ethan is an absolute moron. I used to watch H3H3. I used to like H3H3. Back when H3 podcast first started is when I liked it. But it just slowly turned into this weird political nonsense show. But he's probably my least hated guy on the left in the YouTube space.
I am so angry for him and the people he's dealing with. These are some of the most unreasonable D-bags.
Jordan Peterson told him. He tried to warn him. He tried to warn him that the left eat their own. He needs to pull out.
I've ever seen on the internet. iDubbbz, if you're watching this, you are not behaving normally. This is completely insane sociopathic behavior. I don't know if this is your wife.
Yeah, and like he's already stabbed his friend in the back, Ethan. All these people are like this. They stab their friends in the backs, and they're all grouped up as friends. Somebody's gonna get broken off, and somebody's gonna be canceled out of this friend group. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be the weak link, iDubbbz. 100% it's gonna be iDubbbz because he seems like he's the dumbest out of the entire group.
Controlling you, or you acting on your free will, or your friends puppeting you, but this is beyond pathetic, man. You need to get some serious help. And I don't think you have the room to lecture anybody about anything after you reduced a CPS call to Ethan getting triggered. I mean, you've pretty much lost the respect of every single person in the commentary community. You used to be so respected, and now just like another lobotomized Hassan fan. Anyways, now iDubbbz says the line. He says he was just being empathetic, guys. This was all a show of his empathy.
What's very insane about this content cop is I was thinking about Ethan's feelings so much in that video. I thought about the idea of like how I shouldn't be saying the term Zionist or Zionism in that video, because I was like, he has explained before that that's personally insulting to him and he doesn't like that. You know, regardless of how true it is, I was like, I'm going to think about Ethan's feelings and not mention this.
Dude, like, can you not just pull back a little bit from the outside looking in? Do you not see that what you just said is fucking insane?
Fast forward to him reacting to my video, he's just outright calling me a fucking Nazi.
And is it a coincidence that Ian really shaved his head just before doing this video and he's holding a swastika one? I mean, we can free Palestine without being a Nazi.
You know, yeah.
I mean, don't you guys literally call Ethan racist 24/7? Literally yesterday in the H3H3 Hassan debate, Hassan is screaming at Ethan, losing his mind, calling him a racist piece of shit.
You fucking moron! You racist piece of shit!
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he said that out of nowhere, too. He said that to something that, like, didn't make sense because Ethan was saying some things to him, trying to get an answer out of them, that he couldn't answer it, so he just starts screaming over Ethan, calling him racist. So stupid people will be like, oh, what was that thing, Hassan? Yeah, Hassan said a lie about something. Oh, Ethan racist. Ethan racist? Yeah, Ethan racist. You're a racist, Ethan. Yeah, I agree with Hassan. He didn't lie about nothing. I completely forgot what we were just talking about because Ethan racist.
Apparently it's not fun when people do it back to you, huh? And honestly, I don't blame Ethan for thinking this. The way you guys act, it's like you're the modern day cringe internet version of Nazis. Also,
the actual real content cop was Ethan debating Hassan. That was the real content cop. That was probably the worst thing that Hassan could have ever done, was do a debate with Ethan. Because Ethan, he's very dumb, but he's so much smarter. Because I think that he is not a liar. I think he's not an insane liar. I think he really tries his best not to lie and not to pander. He does sometimes. That's why I don't like him. And he's confused and misunderstands things. But at least he tries.
Also, I love this empathy shtick he's got going on. I was thinking of Ethan, guys. I'm just such a nice guy. You guys just don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. He was thinking of Ethan. That's why he made the video, because he couldn't get Ethan off of his mind. Couldn't get him out of his head. Because it's actually guilt that he's suppressing. He's guilty for all the things that he said about his friend, all the things that he did to his friend.
And iDubbbz was being empathetic in that video when he was lying to 7 million people and smearing his name and leaving out context and manipulating people and bringing together his worst enemies and flipping him off. That was empathetic, man! The amount of insane gaslighting, my brain is exploding and I'm not even Ethan, bro. He probably popped a blood vessel watching this.
I'm done being nice to Ethan. I gave it a chance. My sincerity and my empathy in that last video.
So he's gonna crash out even harder. Oh my god. I thought he was gonna maybe give up and just like pull off the internet for a while. Apparently not. Apparently he's doubling down and he's going even more insane. I did not see that coming. Oh boy, I mean, you know what that means? You know, that means I'm gonna be talking about some more iDubbbz situation in the future.
Video was real. I was even equating to him having crash out moments in the same way that Denims could have crash out moments. I think we're all capable of it.
That was nice. That was you being nice. You making a hit piece video trying to ruin his life and career was nice. With friends like these, who honestly needs enemies? Also, Denims is another insane psychopath that this actual lobotomite can't stop promoting. Have you guys seen that show Severance, by the way? I feel like the real iDubbbz is trapped at home or something, and we have this other version of iDubbbz whose brain is just infested with maggots. I'm just so confused what actually happened to the old iDubbbz.
I think TikTok got in front of his brain. I think TikTok has like captured him. I think TikTok, not just TikTok, I'm just using that as an example. I'm saying like internet spaces where you get these like-minded, terminally online people that are insane liars that lie to each other and themselves, but also somehow know that they're all lying, but they don't care. They just get into it and like talk about it and, you know, go down rabbit holes to perpetuate their lies, to make their lies real, to justify their lies, make everything overtly sexual, everything about sex, because that's all they're thinking about, that's all they're having. Sex and hate.
We might actually be in an episode of Severance. Then iDubbbz pulls like the most manipulative shit I've ever seen and somehow tries to justify the CPS call and says that it had nothing to do with the video.
The main criticism that I was seeing online with my video from Ethan and Hila is that I didn't mention the CPS call.
There's really just one central point that I want to make here. My good friend Ian, in his hour-long takedown, did not mention one time Child Protective Services.
I wonder why I wouldn't mention the CPS call. Could it be that the CPS call happened the same day that you were shit-talking me?
The CPS call, they're glad it happened. They're glad it happened. That's why they're not trying to be like, no, that shouldn't have happened. People shouldn't have done that. Audience members, please don't harass people. Don't call CPS on people. That's fucking retarded. No, they're just like, no, he deserved it. He deserves to have his kids taken away. That's what they really think. They want him to have his life ruined. They want him to lose his children because they're evil monsters.
And I didn't have any chance to defend myself. You just immediately, in the same podcast, right next to each other, said, CPS call was very traumatic. And then you said, Ian and Anissa. And you linked those together, you kind of layered those flavors, and then Anissa and I got a bunch of harassment. We had nothing to do.
You got harassment. You got harassment. You didn't get CPS literally called on your fucking children. Okay. What? That's fucking insane. That might be the most insane thing I've ever heard from this guy. Did he go and play with the Ouija board or something and get possessed by demons?
With the CPS call. What are all these comments on your Reddit saying like, it happened because of the CPS call?
Ethan was talking about you not mentioning the CPS call in your Content Cop video, the one you uploaded 2 weeks ago. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about here. You talked about Ethan crashing out the entire video and didn't mention that he's understandably rattled because CPS was called on his kids. Also, did you guys notice he's doing the exact same shit Hassan is doing?
Yeah, Ethan is rattled. Ethan is rattled. He got scared because CPS was coming for his children, but you know, maybe he should have had his children taken away, you know, because he's a bad boss. He's a bad person. He's a tyrant. I hope iDubbbz doesn't have any children.
I had nothing to do with the CPS call, guys, but also I have no problem with it, and I'm best friends with Hassan, Denims, Frogan, and Bad Empanada, and everybody who led to the CPS call, actually. And then later he even says Ethan deserved the CPS call. So let's not act like you don't completely agree with the call, you absolute gaslighting mother flipper. Then iDubbbz proceeds to defend Denims. I mean, he's so far gone.
Is on her platform right now advocating for our children to be forcibly removed from us by Child Protective Services.
The problem with this CPS thing is that Ethan has proven to be a manipulative piece of shit. So when he calls on me to defend him, what the f am I meant to do?
See what I'm talking about the projecting? He says that Ethan is a manipulative piece of shit. Sitting here making a video about Ethan, manipulating his audience, trying to manipulate people like me. It's just like, the projection is insane. I think I'm right. There is no iDubbbz. There is just a demon here. There is a demon behind his eyes, controlling his body. Because there's no fucking way.
Yes, Denims did not condone the CPS call, guys. iDubbbz, can you please plug your brain back into your socket there? Can you look at her actions rather than what she says? She was literally on stream talking about Ethan's kids eating dog shit days before the CPS call.
Why does it have to be anyone else's fault but your own? Take some fucking responsibility. It's just so bizarre that Ethan would expect Anissa and I to make a statement when Denims herself already made a statement about it and said that she does not condone calling CPS.
So we're talking about CPS. 1, I don't condone. 2, I've never condoned it, and you will not be able to find a clip of me saying, yes, we should do this.
I don't condone people to call CPS on people. But the fact that they got CPS called them, I love that. That's what she's saying. She's saying, like, no, don't call CPS on people. But they did deserve it.
Because it doesn't exist. I've literally given Ethan Klein credit on multiple times or multiple instances, and I will do it again right now, for not showing photos of his kids.
Wasn't Denims the person who said it doesn't matter if you call CPS because kids don't form memories at the age of 3 and they actually can't have any trauma at the age of 3? And then didn't she directly read evidence that contradicts what she said and still said that, oh, kids still can't form memories at the age of 3? iDubbbz is doing this thing where he will believe every word that any of his friends ever say without looking at their actions. And people like Denims will always gaslight you like this, say they care about you while actively stabbing you in the back.
I think he defends Denims because he secretly wants to sleep with her. But he knows that he's not good looking enough to do that. So he has to stick with that one chick that he's with. I can't remember, who looks like a dude.
Hassan does the same shit, and so do you, iDubbbz. When you say something, I don't freaking believe it, because I look at your actions. You probably say shit like, I don't condone harassment on Ethan. I care about Ethan. I have empathy. Meanwhile, you make this video trying to ruin his life and partner with people who want his kids taken away. Your actions reveal your true character. Never trust people's words. Then iDubbbz tries to pretend that he was never good friends with Ethan.
Ethan acts like we're such great friends and that like he shared such intimate moments with me, but it's all horseshit. He's lying. Like the whole thing is a fucking lie.
So it's not a lie. So iDubbbz has been lying about everything up until this point. So this is the one time he's telling the truth. No, he's lying again. They were great friends and they did share intimate moments. It's like I can't take anything this guy says at face value. It's like everything he says is the opposite.
He's manipulating his audience. We did not have a close relationship.
You guys were buddies for a long time. He texted me like one time, like, hey, dude, we should talk this out. And I was like, I don't feel like having this conversation right now. That's it. So Ian kept trying to get me on the phone or text with me. And I told him, dude, honestly, I don't feel like having this conversation right now.
Okay.
Fair, right? I just didn't want to do it. Okay.
Just in that particular moment, and then like at all?
Well, it turns out I didn't want to talk to him at all.
Okay.
If the relationship was that close, you would have talked to me on the phone.
No, because you threw all of that out the window, you piece of shit.
Hasn't iDubbbz referred to Ethan as his best friend and collabed in multiple videos across the years, appeared on podcasts together, had a good time together, invited him in his home as well, explicitly stated that they were good friends? iDubbbz trying his absolute best to rewrite history here. And of course Ethan doesn't want to talk to you now. Now obviously you guys are not friends. Now obviously he doesn't like you, and in any recent events obviously he doesn't like you and he would hate your guts. So no, you don't deserve a second chance.
He's totally ruined his life now. iDubbbz has ruined it. He can't work with anybody cool anymore. He has to only work with these hated individuals that are hated by society for being actual insane evil liars, controlled by demons, propped up by Hollywood pedophiles.
And just because he didn't talk to you doesn't mean you weren't friends in the past. And honestly, if you were like my best friend ever and you pulled the shit you did to Ethan, I'm sorry, I'm not talking to you either. You are no longer a friend. I'm just gonna assume you got kidnapped by aliens and turned into somebody else. You're a pathetic husk of a man controlled by his OnlyFans wife and scummy political reject friends. Nobody respects you.
I'm sure there's anti-Semitic people that are attacking you guys, but they're not me. They're not Anissa. It's not Hassan. It's not all of these other creators that you're attacking.
Yeah.
Except they keep talking shit about Ethan, so like, you know, what he just said, it's the opposite again. It's just everything.
Now, that's just a lie. It is exactly those people. If you look at what Hassan says and don't think he's anti-Semitic, you have completely lost your mind. Hassan has literally gone on stream and said that you should not yield when talking about supporting Hamas, not Palestine. He's talking about the terrorist group that literally kills Palestinians when they protest. The terrorist group, whose entire foundation lies on the fact that they want death to all Jays.
Come to you and say, oh, I guess you love Hamas then. And in that moment, you can't fucking yield, okay?
Hassan has also said that if you've ever had any positive feelings about the state of Israel ever in your entire life ever, you should be treated like a neo-Nazi, ran off the streets, and not even be able to be the local dog walker. So he's not talking about now. He's talking about ever in your life ever.
I don't hate all the Jews, and I don't think that they should die, except for the ones who like Israel, which is fucking all of them. Like, come on. It's so dishonest. It's actually a lie. It's demonic.
Which is basically every Jew. So that is like straight up anti-Semitic, bro.
You shouldn't even let someone be the fucking local dog catcher as Felix was posting if they've ever exhibited any sort of any sort of like positive feelings about the state of Israel. I'm so serious about this.
I hope you enjoy partnering with literally the most radical nutjob on the internet, who actually just said on stream today that he's afraid that he's going to go to jail because of his open terrorist support.
They support Hamas, a
I might literally be going to jail
on their hands.
Then he defends Frogan for some reason.
You're not the biggest victim on the internet, Ethan. There are a lot of people that you've just bullied and they have nothing to gain out of it. Frogan isn't making a bag from this. She's not getting content out of this. You're attacking her in relentless ways and endorsing so much worse harassment than what even you send her way.
Yes, calling someone circumferentially blessed is the same as having CPS called on your kids.
I'm gonna keep calling this bitch fat. Fucking cry about it. They're gonna go around insulting people, telling people that they need to get PTSD. I hope you get PTSD. Don't call me fat though. Ugh, I'm being harassed. I feel so bad. Oh, my feefies.
Good job, iDubbbz. You learned empathy. Congratulations. Now, iDubbbz also tries to say that the dislikes on the video are fake and conveniently gives no screenshots.
Because I know that a lot of these they love their dislike button extensions. And I saw that shit and I was like, what the f? These are all like fabricated numbers. The like-dislike ratio was like 80-20 on my video, and then they tried to create a narrative of like, no, people actually hate this content cop, guys. It's actually so much worse. Like people were more upset with like my wife being on OnlyFans.
Yes, let's show a screenshot of the dislikes on a video from 5 years ago, but not the dislikes of the current video. And you can just kind of read the comments here. My favorite line in the video is that he claims that the CPS call happened the same day he was making the video, so he didn't reference it. Meanwhile, he references a video that has the title clearly in it, indicating the CPS incident. If you're gonna lie, can you at least try? I love how Anisa's husband is allowed to post on her channel. I'm sure the Palestinians are extremely invested in this. I've discovered empathy. I've heard of psychopaths with more empathy than you. Now close this video or you become a puck like iDubbbz and you have to watch your wife's boyfriend in the bedroom.
iDubbbz has the face of a psychopath. Of course he's a psychopath. At this point, when I look at a person and I think they look like something, they are that thing now. If they look like a psychopath, they're a fucking psychopath. If they look like they got demons behind their eyes, they got demons behind their eyes. You know what I mean? I'm starting to think that these bad feelings that I get about people are real. And I don't listen to the good feelings either, because the good feelings could be lying to me. But if I get bad feelings, I'm gonna listen to those bad feelings. And iDubbbz looks, acts, sounds, behaves, smells probably like an insane person, and hangs out with insane people who all lie, who all have demons behind their eyes, who all call for death, but they pretend that they don't because they didn't outright say it, they just implied it. But you misinterpreted the implication. They were actually talking about something else. When they say the Jews, they're just talking about the people who are in these secret groups and who love Israel, which is all of them. That's the whole fucking point of Judaism, but they're banking on people not knowing that. And we know what they really mean. That's all I got for this video. I got more iDubbbz content coming up in the next few days. Hopefully he crashes out some more. I'll have even more content to cover. I got another one coming up tomorrow. It's going to be a lot shorter than this one. Buy a t-shirt or something down there in the description. I'm out!